Feel the thunder, shake the open ground. Won't give in, I'm fighting for the crown. Heavy clouds are way above my head, like all of my regrets and things I never said. Now God, something's coming, but nobody knows. Angels rage, they come to face these broken wings and show me how I burn I see the
Welcome to Fuji. Sitting in the shadows of Mount Fuji in Oyama, Japan, Fuji Speedway is one of Asia's most iconic racing venues. Originally opened in 1965, this circuit blends long straights with tight technical corners, creating a layout that challenges both high-speed courage and low-speed finesse. Fuji measures 4.56 kilometers with 16 corners, including one of the longest straights in global motorsports at just 1.5 kilometers. A flat-out slipstreaming chaos. It's a track of extremeness, where top speed meets heavy braking and patience battles aggression. Though it's best known for hosting Formula One and Super GT in the World Endurance Championship, Fuji has also welcomed Porsche Supercup. The machinery offered in these Cup cars allowed the drivers a rare chance to take on full-throttle Japanese circuits. Here, the 911 GT3 Cup cars hit max velocity on the main straights, then dive into technical sections where every braking point and apex counts. It's high drama from the start to finish, so let's break it down, the technical sections of this Titan. Starting off with T1, the first corner, TGR corner. It's a hard right-hander after the mega long straight. This is Fuji's prime overtaking zone, and the biggest braking test on the lap. Lock a wheel and it's game over. Turn 3, Coca-Cola corner. A medium speed left with a tricky camber. Drivers must be smooth and early on throttle to get a clean exit into the S-curve. Turns 4 to 6, 100R complex. This sweeping, never-ending right-hander is all about balance. It puts a massive lateral load on the tires and even more pressure on the driver's concentration. Turn 7, the hairpin. Tight, slow, crucial. Miss your braking point, even by a meter, and you'll be slowed down entirely in the following sector. Turn 10, the Dunlop corner. A technical left-hander with elevation change. Porsche Cup cars tend to squirm under braking here, especially in race trim. Get it wrong, and the next sector becomes a recovery job. Turns 13 to 14, the final complex. 2 quick rights to the finish. include the legendary Panasonic corner. Nailing your exit here is everything. It dictates your speed down Fuji's monster straight and your shot at making a move into turn 1. It's about concentration, speed versus grip, aggression versus patience, but in Porsche Supercup, that means non-stop wheel-to-wheel battles in the late braking lunges, draft wars that go right to the final lap. The mountains may be peaceful, but the racetrack beneath it, total chaos and cup cars. If you want fast, Fuji brings it with a vengeance. In the world of Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, this will be host to the 5th and final round of the 2025 CMRSC Porsche Supercup. After the events of the German Grand Prix, new drivers enter the fray, with Max becoming one of the very few drivers to win on their debut. However, all eyes are on the final round, where Eamon, after a brilliant showcase of keeping his tires alive, now finds himself 18 points behind the championship leader. It's Sven versus Eamon for the title. However, with double points at hand, it allows mathematically the top 9 all within a chance of glory. The main event of this show is now time to take place. One question on everyone's mind: who will win the championship? This is round 5. The Japanese CMRSC Porsche Supercup Grand Prix finale.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to conclude the spectacular championship. It all comes down here in Japan. I'm your host, Raul Nasir, and we welcome you out to Fuji Speedway for this championship decider. Who is it going to be? Eamon Aspear, Sven Versteeg, or the couple of drivers below? It's double points. It's back. And we're ready to go racing here today. And we are so excited to crown a new first-time champion. With all the drivers putting in their last bit of practice, getting ready to go for this event here in Japan. It's truly going to be all to play for. So the drivers putting in their last bit of practice. There you see all the Spec Series Porsche Cup cars are at it one final time. And there's your man who's at the top of it all right now. Max Kit won the sprint race, got second in the main race, and now all he's doing is just working on his momentum throughout the future of his CMRSC career. Sunset Outrun, he's not alone. He's got a teammate somewhere around here through the order. And there he is. That is Victor Rivero on track. Having a bit of trouble with his livery. I think we can get that sorted at our side as well. But there he is, looking very well. He does have a custom livery, but we'll try to figure out that issue in a moment. But our main championship battle, as we look at the main points standings here, this is what we're all at it and we're looking for. Sven, 88 points. And then it's Eamon just behind him, 70 points. Now, if your name is Eamon, you need to win this race. There is no other exception. Maximum points on you. You need your championship rival to finish third or lower to have the best chances in the main race. In the sprint race, however, there's only 1 point separating, so really your main goal is just to finish ahead. Wherever you are, finish ahead of your championship rival. I cannot stress enough how insane championships have come down to the wire when we get championship fights. This is the first championship points battle that we're getting for 2025. We had the GT World Challenge that was done and dusted at Indianapolis by Mike Van Doren. We had the Formula One World Championship that was done and dusted by Cody Lawrence at Interlagos rounds before, but now we get to see something go down to the wire. Granted, it's not as close as what we've seen in the past, but hey, it's still all to play for. Practice just coming to an end. Hope you enjoyed the new graphics. We are ready to go racing. As the checkered flag waves here for the practice session to be completed. We are now waiting for the beginning of qualifying, and it is going to be just one word. Awesome. Oh, Marlon Young hitting the wall there on the outside. It's not what you want, as you see Martin Webster there just going through as all the drivers start to hustle through and complete their laps. And there you see all the drivers heading into the pits. You see a little sneaky driver, that's Partab, practicing his starts there just at the bottom of your screen. There's another driver here, Tej, on track. We are just waiting for the official end of practice here. I'm your host, Rahul, and this if you're just tuning in for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But if you need a bit of convincing, just stick around till the sprint race begins. We have qualifying coming up, 10 minutes of it only, and then racing begins. It's something you do not want to miss. It's the sprint race. 7 laps. Just 7 laps for the drivers to really put it down, pedal to the metal. Where they finish is where they start for race 2, the main one. All on eyes of the tire wear. You remember back at the Sachsenring, the reason why Eamon's in this position is because he risked it all, staying out with his tires, and he won the damn thing at the German Grand Prix. Well, now tides have turned. Let's see what he can do here for the long run. Tej pulls over on track. Here we see Andrew Ryan getting a little bit of some slipstream from a couple of the drivers just ahead on track. Oh, Ryan does go for a little bit of a spin there. I was looking for the top 5. There's Dominic Mazuzzo, fan favorite of many, as he's just finishing his lap. And the debut Brazilian driver, Victor Ribeiro, once again has a livery. We're going to see if we can make sure it's all in working order as we see Mazuzzo, the last driver to come across the line on a valid lap, I believe. There he goes. No improvements there, but the drivers really getting themselves set for this grand finale here today. And there's Rup Narain. And that Visa car, as he comes across the line just about now. There it is. So, really excited for this one. If you are excited, hit that like button. Make your predictions in chat as well. Is it going to be Sven or is it going to be Eamon? The Dutchman versus the Italian here in Japan. And this is going to get ready in just a couple moments' time. Qualifying begins in just about 2-3 minutes. And then we're going to really get into it. As we're just waiting for a couple of these drivers to finish up. There we go. All right. You can now head out the session, and we'll let you know when to come back in. Just going to give you one little warning here. If the real penalty gives us a little crash when we load back in for qualifying, we'll just sack it off, and we'll have nothing. Give me an extra minute. I'm just going to update one of the liveries. I'm not seeing it on my side, but nothing the drivers need to do, so just give me an extra minute. So, that is going to do it for practice. Max Kit at the top, followed by his teammate, Victor Ribeiro. So, that's going to do it there. And we're going to add Victor's livery and just get it going. And, yeah, let's load that. Hopefully, we can see it this time as we get ready. But don't go anywhere. I'm getting qualifying started. All right, let's update this livery here and let's make sure everything's in working order. Klaus, you cannot hear me. Can anybody else drop a comment if they can hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Steven. Okay, in here now? Alright, sweet. Thank you, guys. Just one more moment. Alright, now we can... add this livery. Here we go. And let's get this one updated over on our side here, and then we can officially start this one off. And then we're gonna get into qualifying. There we go. All right, we have the liveries updated. Just one livery to go. And now we get some fresh new colors. All right, sorry about the wait there. The session is up in about 5 seconds. Once again, if it crashes, if real penalty gives us some issues, we'll just disable it once and then we'll go right from there. So you can join the server now. Qualifying is not officially started. We're going to get everyone in the session, and then we are going to restart it back to the 10 minutes, and then we'll actually start it officially from there. But jump in now if you haven't. All right. So now we can get it through here. Let's take a look back at those points so you really understand what we're working with here. Pole position is now worth 2 points. So for Eamon, he's going to need those 2 points to get just oh so closer. For Sven, he wants to extend it to 20 points. And we are just waiting to see if all systems are go. And just watching the errors. Okay, there's the errors. All right, getting the errors. All right, we're going to disable it. And we'll be good after. So you can just head out the session, and I'll let you know when to come back in. It'll just take about 5 seconds. Once again, in terms of track limits, guys, let's try our best to keep the tires to off max, staying between the white lines, and then we won't have any issue there. So, I had a feeling that that would happen, but not to worry. Let's go back to me here, because who wants to just look at points for the moment? And we're going to jump into qualifying officially. Session's up, guys. Session's up. Thank you for the wait. Shouldn't have any more issues forward here. So, just going to disable real penalty. And figure that out at a later date. Overall, guys, hopefully it gives you a little bit more freedom to race, but let's not use that to our advantage. We're still going to be watching over track limits. Not to penalize anybody, but if there is a little too much cutting, then we'll have to step in. But, guys, remember, make sure to stay within track limits. That's having the 2 tires within track limits. All right, we're going to give everybody about 30 seconds to join in, and then we will start it up. So just sit patient in the pit lane, and we'll get it started in a moment. So drivers, ready to go here for qualifying. Headed over to the main screen. This is going to be a very important qualifying for the drivers here. All right, stand by. Qualifying starting in a moment. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get qualifying underway for the final round of this championship. Who will take pole position? That's the question on everyone's mind. how are we getting qualifying going now? Oh, looks like... I think the server is just loading in now, but we are getting ready here for qualifying. As the drivers are getting ready. So, here we go. In just a moment. Alright, so wait is done. Had a little technical difficulty there, but we are now entering back into the session, and we can get this one actually started here. Alright, let's actually start qualifying for real here, and I'll make sure to hit the correct button this time. So, yeah, that was on me there. But let's officially get qualifying started here for the final round of the championship. No hiccups anymore, please, and thank you. This is it, the final qualifying session of the year in Porsche Supercup. Welcome! As all the drivers start to exit out the pit lane now, and already a battle has already commenced up here, but welcome to it. Drivers escaping out. Hopefully you like the new timing board we have here. That is going to show us all the sectors, so we have absolutely nothing to worry about. But look at all these beautiful Porsche Cup cars, 20 drivers on track, ready for this one. It's going to be a hell of a battle to see who's going to take pole position. The championship fight is between Sven and Eamon Esbeer. So let's go to one of those drivers right now. Eamon Esbeer. We'll switch to the driver ahead in just a moment. But he is trailing just 18 points. Now, 18 points sounds like a lot, but this is a double points finale race. So, what does this mean for Eamon? Well, in the main race, he's going to need to score at least... He's going to need Sven to score third or lower for him to have the best chances at this championship fight. Mainly just finish ahead of him. That's the most important part. But as drivers all coming around towards the final part of this circuit, we can look on board to this man here, Max Kitt, who won last week's sprint race at the Sachsenring. And now he's looking to see if he can get pole position again, because yes, he did take pole position. Here we go, as it comes across the start-finish line here at Fuji Speedway for the Japanese Grand Prix. We're on board, heads into turn one, looking for the 100-meter marker, braking just before it. Looks like 130 is braking at. Down in the second gear, a little bit of oversteer as he puts the power down and then accelerating out, going up the hill into the Coca-Cola curve. It's a fast kink. Really love this curve. As soon as you get it right, you want to roll the car through as he's just about hanging on. And then over to the right-hander. Long right-hander. And then it's the hairpin to the left, braking in a straight line at the 100-meter marker down into second gear. And then power down all the way to curb exit. Looking pretty swell right now. Continuing down, it's a little short straight. Now this one's a very tricky braking zone. Some people use the shadow under here. Some people brake at the 100-meter marker. However brave you want to get, hit it into first gear for the right, then the left, and then power down as you straight line this part of the curb. And then you head up the hill into the right-hander. A little slide once again. And then hugging over the curb, get the car as wide as possible. It's going to feel like understeer central as you continue to go uphill. And then just one more uphill hairpin, the harder hairpin on this final sector. Really get it turned in, kiss the apex goodbye, use all the exit curb, and race to the line. Max Kit in his first lap attempt here in qualifying. Purple in the first sector, purple in the second sector, should be purple in the third sector. He comes across the line. The drivers are going to be chasing a 1 minute 41.045. So times are going to be starting to come across here as there you see his teammate Victor up in P2, 7/10 off. First lap times coming across the board. There's your championship leader Sven, only 4th position, and looking for Eamon as he is on another lap. So looked like his previous lap was actually not valid, so he's gonna try to go for another one again. Meanwhile, Max has actually gone ahead and improved the first sector again. So watching him now, he's got 7/10, but he's got his sector taken away by Daniel Santos. The Portuguese driver has been very quick, very vocal about his feelings towards the cars and track limits, but one thing's for sure, he puts his money where his mouth is, and he's actually a very, very quick driver in Porsche Cup. Remember his debut back at Indianapolis for the GT World Challenge, where he really put the timing sheets down. He's currently trailing right now as he heads into the second sector. Right now, Max Kit holds it with a 1 minute 9:14. That's the time he's gonna have to beat as he heads into the second sector now, and he's matched it essentially. We'll go on board here with Max Kit now as he enters the front straight once again. Racing to the start-finish line feels like ages until you hit the black and white stripes, but here comes Max Kit, here to improve his lap time as he comes across now. It's now going to be 1 minute. Oh, it's actually not improvement. He's a 10th off. Here comes Daniel Santos onto the start-finish line. Identical middle sector with the man who's currently on provisional pole. Purple first sector. What can the third sector and the overall lap say? It is not improvement. It's a 10th and a half down. The only man to really improve to start to get closer here is Victor, as he is now up 2/10, and he's now purple in the first sector. He's in the first sector, purple, looking for his first pole position. Can he do the same thing that his teammate did? It's an identical car that actually took pole position back at the German Grand Prix. Remember the yellow and black Sunset Outrun car. So can you imagine if we can see the same kind of car but two different drivers on pole position? That would be very, very particular. Now as we watch the other drivers here, slow qualifying as they all get up to speed. 3 minutes and 38 seconds still counting left to go. We're running out of time for these guys. And right now, the championship fight, it's P4 for Sven. And oh, hitting the curb hard. It's Eamon in 7th. I hope pressure is not getting to him this early on in this championship fight. But as we watch now, Victor, as he heads on to the start-finish line, looks like he's actually going to be heading into the pit lane on this lap. Daniel Santos is the driver going to be watching, and he's going to have a healthy slipstream provided by Marlon Young. Is Marlon Young going to try to break it? He doesn't enter the pits. He's going for a lap of his own. Daniel Santos has a huge opportunity to potentially take pole position here at Fuji Speedway. Can he do it? No, but he goes second position. He lines himself up on the front row. Sven, currently third position as well in the pits. P4 has been shuffled down, so Victor's been shuffled down. Peter as well. Eamon, most importantly. What is going on with Eamon? There's something going on, that's for sure, because he is struggling here in qualifying. And he goes wide as well. He's losing loads of time. In this championship fight, if this is what the pace is going to look like, well, it may be done and dusted, but we still got to wait till racing begins as Santos heads into the pits, realizing there's not much space to come around here. And take a look at all the traffic as you see Adam just peeling off the road. And Victor trying to go through 130. And can we see any improvements for his next lap? As it stands, though, looks like Max Kidd has actually found himself on a bit of improvement. Remember, the only time that he is set that is fastest right now is the very first lap time that was set in qualifying. Mike Van Doren has set the first fastest lap, first fastest sector, purple. So we're gonna have to look at him after. Here comes Max Kidd on the front straight once again, racing to the line. 1:41.045. That's his time to beat. He's already on provisional. Can he extend this gap out and really claim pole position for himself? No, he cannot. Looking at the Dutchman now, Mike Van Doren, champion in the GT World Challenge. He heads into the end of Sector 1. 1 minute, 9:14 to beat. 6/10 down. Has lost a lot of time on that sector. And 50 seconds left to go. Really coming down to it as, oh, Mike's hit a lot of curb. Heading up, and now he's finding himself a little bit of trouble. A little bit on the back foot. Trying to improve. He's only P6 right now. Wants to get up there with his teammate, who's currently sitting in second position. Third position, my apologies. 48 concurrent viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. He's only to CMRSC, wherever you are around the world. This is just qualifying. Racing is going to get started in just a moment. And Van Doren is not going to improve, so a lot of our big hitters here today not finding improvement. Take a look at Max, though. In the second sector, he's just off of his time. Still trying to find a way to improve his personal best, that's for sure. He goes a little bit wide. It is going to run him down a 10th or 2. Really trying to push hard. And qualifying is actually complete, so the time extending now is just overtime here. And looks like he's backed out. So that's going to do it for your pole man. Trying for another opportunity. More drivers in the fray as they look at the final corner. A lot of drivers here to come across the line. Dominic, Marlin, Klaus. Here comes Dominic, though. Can he improve that P9 up the order now? And no, he cannot. Marlon Young now. Nothing can be done. Klaus. Nothing can be done. Here comes Webster across the line. And nothing can be done as our camera horribly tries to track him there. Wow. So, as it stands right now, we do not have anybody who's touching that top time. Victor heads into the pits. Nothing can be done. Here comes Pratab. Roll Pratab, the Guyanese, now heading across the start-finish line. 42-43. And 1.5 seconds off. 42.5 is that finishing time there. Looking at P19 and P18. Tizwanto and Andrew. Oh, as Andrew's going to slide that car, that's not going to be a valid qualifying time then. And here comes Tizwanto. A chance here to potentially get himself in the top 10. Can he do it? No, he was not on a valid lap. Max Kitt, back-to-back pole positions here in the final round of qualifying in the Porsche Supercup, followed by Daniel Santos and Sven Verkstein. Max Kitt, 1:41.045. Great qualifying there. and Vitor, apologies. So thank you for the correction there. All right, you can head out the server now. We'll let you know when racing begins. Congratulations, your top 3, Max, Daniel, and Sven. So just telling you guys the championship picture for the top 2. Eamon, you are trailing behind 18 points. So best of luck to everyone. We'll let you know when the race session's up. So thank you for the correction there. Vitor. So we're going to make sure we properly address him now. But that is going to do it for qualifying there. Very interesting qualifying session. Max takes 2 for 2 in pole positions. It's a shame we get him this late in the championship. Who knows what he could have done throughout this one. But one thing's for sure, he's claimed on top as for now. So now we head into racing here. This is the sprint race. We're only going to get 7 laps of sprint racing based on those qualifying results, and then it's the main race. Who is going to be taking the race win? Max, when he took pole, he took the race win at the Sachsenring. So what happens now? Can we see back-to-back sprint race winners? Well, only time will tell. We get ready now for the start of the sprint. You can now join in the server here. You can join in the server. It should be 150 seconds before the lights go out. So get into the server as soon as possible. All right. Let's head into the session here. And let's take a look at those championship points. It's, of course, not going to be updated from that qualifying. But if you want to be added, just find Max there, 29 points, 30-31. He'll be tied for 8th. So a minute and 50 seconds left to go before the lights go out. Minute 45 now, counting. So, sprint race here, 7 laps. And the driver's now heading into the session. These beautiful Porsche Cup cars line up on their grid lines. And getting up to the front of the queue. There it is. Your pole man, Max Kidd. Who is taking home the race win? Make your predictions. It's Max and Daniel on the front row for this one. You do not want to go anywhere. It's time we get the sprint race underway here in CMRSC's finale for Porsche Supercup. Here we go. 30 seconds to call it. Welcome to the sprint race. Here we go. Drivers lined up, ready to go for this one. Who is taking the race win here in the sprint? Only time will tell. Let's sound it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and wait for them to go out, and we go racing! The sprint race commences. It's a fantastic start from Max Kidd as they head into the first turn now, side by side between Sven and Daniel Santos. Vitor has absolutely dive-bombed it, sent himself for a spin to make contact, and has a horrific start. And the dive went absolutely nowhere but bowling. But now Peter Samo shuffled up to second, Van Dorn to third, Sven fourth. It's Dominic, 5th position. As they all shuffle up the order now, it's going to get really racy here on this first lap. Drivers are going to be taking big advantage of the opportunities of how close drivers are. There you see side by side as Sven and Dominic go through. Remember, they're in a championship battle. Also, Santos with that contact has unfortunately not been able to catch up. And here comes Peter Samo as they head up the hill. Trying to get the best angle for this here. But there you see all the drivers heading up the hill, and there you see Santos also trying to put some pressure on Casper as well, trying to pressure on Eamon as they all snake up the hill. As it stands right now, it's a little bumpy and grindy, but after that start, they're looking pretty fine and dandy from there. So, Sabot, second, but it's Kit, first position. As they are on the straight now, we have some trouble in the back. It's Steven and Tej who get it wrong there. Let's look at the rear cam. Let's find out how far that gap is. That's what, about 8/10, 7/10 looks like. And there you see Sven really trying to push on, but watch this. Daniel Santos on Dominic Mazzuto. Dominic defends on the inside in 5th position as it stands. Holding on to the outside. Santos trying to look for a move. Can he put it down a Coca-Cola curve? It's very risky to try to get it done in this corner, but Santos is going to put it all on the line. No, he does not. He backs out of it. Very smart. And Eamon slides the rear end. Eamon's gonna have to get a move on to try to get these cars ahead. What's lucky for him is that these two guys, Santos and Mazzuto, battling for position. It's a chance for them to potentially make a mistake or slow each other down for Asbir to really launch himself through to get right behind the championship leader, which is this man, Sven. Now in the sprint race, you're only gaining about 1 point through positions for the top 8. So you want to get in that top 8. That's the most important part. That's step 1. Step 2, well, they're all just 1 point apart. So as we watch Sven and Mike, I wonder if team orders are going to get into a play here, if Van Dorn could potentially let by Sven, but I don't think the Dutch duo really would rather do that. They probably want to just race hard and really say the best man wins between the two. Here comes Tezwanto on Martin Webster. Also trying to battle hard, as well as you have Stephen Bola, Tej, Andrew Marine. Battle for the back half of the grid as Andrew sent it down the inside. Low slide. And Bola trying to hang on for dear life as he just about goes through. Side by side here, Lesmana and Adam. And Lesmana goes onto the inside, looking for a potential move. Can he go down the inside? Lesmana defends hard. It's contact, and the car's been lifted in the air. And Lesmana may have closed the door a little too early, sent himself backwards now. And that is trouble for him. So there you see Max, followed by Peter Sabot. And then it's Mike Van Dorn, Sven, Dominic, Daniel, and Eamon. Top 8. Follow that by the last person in the points right now. It's Casper. There's trouble though. Oh, it's Adam. He's got it wrong. P12 has a bit of damage there on the side of the Porsche, but luckily he's going, and that's the most important part. Let's watch this battle here for 3rd position. So, what are these drivers going to do here between this battle here? Once again, just trying to change this here. Oh, there's trouble here. There's Dominic. Something's gone wrong for him. And Dominic Mazzuto falls down the order to 9th position. That is not what he wants whatsoever. And that has really hurt his momentum as he's climbing up the order. We also have another position move here as Sven takes the move on Mike Van Dorn. Championship-wise, that is exactly what needs to happen. You take a look at those points. Remember, not updated. Those points are right now live, but lap 4 of 7, this is exactly what they need. If your name is Sven, you need every position you can possible, and as it stands right now, the gap will be opened up just 3 more points. Now remember, the main race is still going to come in. Tires are going to be worn out heavily by the end of this sprint race. But I know what Sven is thinking. He does not want another dumpster fire like the German Grand Prix where he fell down the order in both races when the tires never let through until the very, very end when it mattered the most. I know he's going to want to be playing it safe. But currently he's third. He's on the podium. That's what's the most important. And Eamon, who's in fifth position. The driver he needs to overtake is Mike Van Doorn. The two Dutch drivers ahead on track. Let's actually take a look at those team standings as it stands right now. So Pro Mix Flame is right at the top. They're going to be claiming this championship, the team championship, very, very easily. That's for sure. But right now, the Drivers' Championship is what we're focusing on mainly here. And Santos is ready to put some pressure on Eamon. There you see a better apex, and he's just about closing that gap a bit more. We also have a battle here as Vitor now goes down the inside of Klaus. Very late optimistic move there from Vitor, trying to find a move on the inside, trying to get Klaus. But now he's on the outside of Coca-Cola Curve. Can he hold on? They're still just about side by side. Looks like Klaus is just able to hold on. Your battle for 11th position, and 10th is not that far ahead. Marlon Young holding on, but now Vitor on the outside looking to pull off the over-under potentially as he gets onto the power. They still feel basically identical behind them. It's a real train of cars. You have Adam and Lasmana battling through. Is Vitor going to go diving down the inside? Oh boy, that was very steep there. Klaus didn't have the best of exits. Vitor had to hold up just for a moment. And now Adam with the chance to get through this field. This whole little daggle of cars. And you watch Vitor trying, squirming around, really trying to find a way to get past. And Webster has taken his car to the pits. He looks like he's teleported to the pits. I'm not too sure why he's done that. As I head on to the front straight, we look back with Vitor. Let's go on board with Klaus. And let's check out the slipstream, how close that's going to be getting now. If anything, Adam may potentially have some trouble behind him as Lasmana is going to be putting some pressure. Vitor honks the horn. And here we go. Potentially, is there going to be a move here from Vitor? Also, Adam is going to try to go for a move here. Vitor takes that position momentarily. Does he? Yes, he does. Gets it going. Now we watch this. Klaus has actually been on the back foot here. Will we see 3 wide? Lasmana look to the middle there. Klaus goes around the outside trying to hold on to 12th position. Does so brilliantly. And 12th holding on there is Klaus. So he's only lost 1 position. And Marlon Young also losing a position here. The Guyanese side by side with the Brazilian. Neighboring countries. And now, side by side here, Vitor, Marlon Young. What's going to happen here? Marlon, a former champion, 2024's DTM world champion. Vitor, your debut driver. But he put it on the top 2 rows here in qualifying, so he must be something to write home about, right? Right. Here we go, around the outside, looking for the move done, and he's got it. Perfectly there. This is incredible racing as Lasmana tries to look for a move on the outside of Adam. Cannot get it done that time around. Now Klaus goes wide, goes off the track, and Lasmana's gonna pick up 2 positions. No, slides the rear end from the curb, and now Adam goes through, and now Klaus to the inside. Oh, it's very close. He's getting squeezed there. Door is shut. Lasmana goes to the outside there to avoid it, and Klaus shuffled down the order. This is some great racing here. Marlon Young defends, and look at him squeezing him to the wall. What is going on here? Is Adam trying to hold on desperately, heading into 1. And Klaus goes bowling. No, he's taking out 2. Taking out 2 drivers, and that is a massive shame there. Danny Desir is going to pick up some positions, but that's going to ruin it there. Klaus misjudging the braking point, and unfortunately, That's going to drop all of them some big positions. That's going to be a penalty to his name, unfortunately, in that battle. Now, meanwhile, as all that went down, Sven has caught up to the rear end of Peter Sabot. Also, Eamon having some pressure now with Santos. And we're on the final lap of this race already. Can you believe it? We're gonna have 25 laps to do it in the next one. But as it stands right now, you're looking at your sprint race winner from last week out. He is only one of very few drivers in CMRSC who have taken a race win on their debut. And now, in the next sprint race, Max Kidd is gonna go back-to-back sprint race victories. Max on top here for the sprint. He takes the checkered flag. One event there, side by side, almost across the line. Sven is third. Peter will take second. As they all slowly start to come across the line now. Championship, most importantly, as you see Eamon, he is in 5th position. So you watch all the drivers now heading over to the start-finish line now to finish up this race here. We also have some trouble down the order. Oh, it's Roop Narayan who's cutting the track here, and here comes Bola with an opportunity. He goes wide, trying to go the long way around, and Bola's gotten through on Andrew. On this final part, around the final corner, Steven's gonna say, thank you very much, I will take it. And Andrew's really struggling there in the background. But as it stands, it is Max Kidd who takes P1 in the sprint race. Back-to-back sprint race wins. That's gotta feel oh so good. So Sven, most importantly, holds on to 3rd position. Eamon is gonna take 5th. The championship battle extended by 2 points. So we'll look at the incidents in that first race after the stream. Yeah, I did unfortunately see there, Daniel, what happened to you. Just a misjudge on braking points, but nonetheless, we'll look at it after this one. We're going to invite a race winner to have a chat. Max, just send you an invite. Max, you take another sprint race victory, pole to victory once again. That's gotta feel simply lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, finally did botch the start. Finally figured it out. But yeah, no, I don't know where all my pace came from. I was not this fast in practice ever, so I'm just happy to be here.
I mean, yeah, for sure. The start was brilliant. You were able to hold on there. You had Santos on the inside, but you were just able to hold on. What does it mean to start on the outside here at turn 1? Because it's a hairpin, so you can always expect a great lunge. So what is going through your mind at the start of these races?
Just try to keep that gap to the inside. Just try to cover it off. Get as far to the inside as possible, and just don't let a car whip there. Because I know some of the guys here will send a karting type move if I leave any type gap.
1000%. But now you start on the front row, pole position once again. This time, 25 laps. How did the tires feel, most importantly? Do you think there's going to be a pit stop?
Nah, no pit here. It's not nearly as bad as the last round, but still going to be a difficult prospect to get to the end.
Well, congratulations on the sprint race win. Let's see what you can do for the main race. Hopefully, I can talk to you again on the podium. Good luck on it.
Thank you. I'll see you then.
All right, everyone, you can now leave the session. We'll let you know when the main one starts. So that's going to do it for the main race. It's time to head on over to... Well, that was it for the sprint race. Now it's the main race. So, very exciting race indeed. Chat's loving it. Team Dominic Mazzuto 2025. So now, tides have shifted here. So here we go. You do not want to go anywhere, because it's going to be time to start the main race in this championship. The final race here in Porsche Supercup. Great commentary, great visuals. You're not paying the cameraman enough there. Thank you very much there, Steven. Wow. All right, that was awesome. Can you believe that pack battle, that pack racing at the rear? Now we're going to get one more of it. A longer race. Tires are really going to be pushed to the absolute limit. So now let's get it ready. Session is up. Session is up. Should once again have about 150 seconds before the lights go out. So hop in there as soon as possible. Whew. Let's take our breathers here. Let's take a sip of water. Do I have a sip of water here? I do have my sip of water. I can drink in just a moment. But this one is going to be the one for the marbles here. The gap is now 20 points between Eamon and Sven. Anything and everything can happen here in Porsche Supercup. You've seen it every single round. Now it's time to see what's going to happen next. A lot of storylines going into this one. Will we see a sweep? Can Max pull off a sweep so early in his CMRSC career? Can Eamon pull off another masterclass, another race where he pulls it off on top? Or will Sven take home another championship for the Netherlands? Remember, there's only 2 champions so far, Mike Van Doorn and Sander van Leeuwen. That's a name I haven't said in quite a while. Hope he's doing well wherever he is. Minute 25, will we see another Dutch driver added to the list? Woo, we're excited. You can join the server if you haven't already. You can join in the server now. Minute 12 to go. Minute 12 to go. So, here we go. This is where it's all going to count the most. Not seeing a lot of the drivers load in. They're loading in pretty slowly here. And Sven saying he's got his potato PC trying to load up. You just got to give it some patience. Yeah, you just got to give it some patience. I'm happy to restart where nobody has to leave. But if we can get everyone in here. We have 33 seconds left to go. 30 seconds. Just waiting for Max here. It's going to be close. All right, if we have to, I'll... All right, you know what? We'll do you a favor here. It's the last race. So, everyone's set up. You're going to be reset here. So, make sure setups are all set. That's the most important part. So, Max, you're good. I've just reset it for you. There's now 2 minutes. Let's try to get everyone in here now. I think we just have 2 drivers we're waiting for here as well. But 2 minutes left to go in this finale here. In the meantime, we're going to be looking at the points standings in this one. But of course, points right now, of course, on this board are not going to be the exact same for what we're actually looking at. It's the previous rounds. Take a look at the driver standings anyways. Now, it's 90 points to 70 points for the top 2. That's the only one I can tell you there for sure. So this is it. Minute and 29 to go. Yeah, we're waiting. Minute 22. Minute 22 left. Sorry, just waiting on Tizwanto there. If we have to do another restart, we'll do one more restart for you. But see if you can get in for this final minute. Sometimes it can load a bit slow. So just waiting on him. That's that final grid slot there. Looks like Tizwanto isn't. I'm seeing you there in Tizwanto. Alright, yeah, we'll restart one more time. I'm seeing one more open grid slot. I think that's Danny. Yeah, I'll restart for you. Alright, it's restarted. Let's try one more time to get in there. Try not to rush joining. That's gonna give you some errors. Give it like maybe like 3 seconds before you hop in. 2 minutes 18. 2 minutes 18. Try now. Whew. Alright, we're gonna try to update these points as best as I can here. And hop in here. Best sound produced by man-made machine, the Porsche Flat 6. Oh, hell yeah. These cars sound incredible. Alright, I see Danny in here, so make sure you guys have your setups. Oh, Andrew, now you can't restart your PC now, man. We don't know how long that's gonna take. I don't know if I saw you in here before, but you can't restart your PC, man. That's gonna take too long. We're gonna have to go on here. We understood if you guys were just restarting Content Manager, but we can't wait for a PC. We're gonna be going on this 1 minute 20. Minute 20. So just get ready for it. Alright. Here we go. Championship up for grabs. 1 minute to go. Who's doing it here today? Crack your knuckles. Drink some water. I said I was gonna drink some water. Drink some water right now. Alright. 47 seconds to go. We can get this one started. Alright. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get the finale of Porsche Supercup underway for the main race. Let's do this. Here we go. One more race to do it. 25 laps and a points gap between 20. Sven versus Eamon. It's 5 lights and we go racing for the final round of Porsche Supercup. Max has already defended Peter Sabo on the inside, and Sven goes to the outside. Peter goes to the middle. It's 3 wide. Daniel's gone deep. He's knocked down Eamon. And that's huge drama for this championship picture. And now Max defending, looking, Peter Sabo on the inside, chance for a move, cannot get it done, but they're still side by side. Peter backs off, Sven trying to go through, oh, it's contact between them as well. Peter Sabo and Sven trying to go through, Mike Van Doren also looking for a chance. Isn't that drama? That's absolutely drama, and your championship rival has been knocked out by the man he's been rivaling all championship long. Daniel Santos, I cannot believe it. This championship's been flipped on its head. Now Sven trying to hustle through. Peter Sabo, second place, trying to go through. It's absolute drama here today. Let's get my car out the way and let's watch these guys at it. There's more drama in the back. There's more yellows. It's Ruben Orion that's off. Eamon has a lot of work to do, and Max goes off the track. It's just perfect, absolutely perfect for Sven. But here comes Peter Sabo trying to get back, cannot do it, and Sven goes to second place. Sven is on an absolute mission to take the lead and put a statement in CMRSC. It is such a shame what's happened to Eamon, but he's collected 5 spots in 1 sector. He's not playing around. Take a look at this, side by side. Sabo is also running down the order. And there you see Peter Sabo trying to go and keep his position, but he's gone from second down to 4th place. Van Doren is 3rd. And Santos looks to the inside momentarily. Cannot get it done there. Man, this is huge. That was a huge incident there at the start. But one thing's for sure, it's 25 laps of racing. It's going to be all to play for. Santos, though, on the inside, he's made contact. He's made contact with Peter Sabo. He faces the wrong way on track. It's not going to help the other drivers coming up. Lesmana trying to battle, defending on from Danny Nasir and Klaus. What is going on here? Both BWT drivers really hustling on, really trying to battle hard. And here we have Lesmana down the inside of his teammate here. Klaus onto the outside as well. Martin goes off, and Eamon is just behind this battle here, and 10th position's not that far off. Vitor also trying to battle on to get onto Roll per tab. Vitor looking to the inside, cannot get it done there. 4/10 the difference between the top two drivers, however. It's Max Kit and Sven back at it again. Roll per tab got a great over-under, and now he's on the charge on the front straight, and he's got the move done on Vitor. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Eamon trying to get through. Up the battle here, side by side. Sven with the fastest lap of the race. And here comes Eamon, tucking in under the Valhalla driver of Klaus. We look up to the front, and there you see Sven is slowly but surely closing up that gap. As you look through the drivers who were just going through, take a look at the outside there. Klaus shoving off there for the moment. Looked like Eamon actually may have gone a little too wide there on corner exit. Loses out that battle, but he's going to try to get up through it now. Holy, this is incredible racing. And we are only on lap 3. This is going to be a long race for these guys, but take a look at this. Max got a lot of defending to do because Sven is all over the rear, looking for a chance. Wants to win this race too. I know him. I know Sven after the German Grand Prix, after the tires going out, giving Eamon an opportunity at the championship. Now he's wanting to really push hard now and get a race win under his belt with a championship. Oh, and look at that. Max goes a little deep. Now here comes Sven, looking to the inside. Cannot get it done. Sven's gonna go anyways. It's door to door. Can he get it done this time? Can't go to the outside. Too much curb. It's neck and neck to the start-finish line. As it stands, it's Sven who holds on, inching up ahead for the lead of this Grand Prix. Now Kit, all he's got to do is try to get himself on the outside, down the inside, whoever goes Max, late move, tries to get it done. There's contact between them, but that is some real Porsche Cup racing at its absolute finest. Gets his way through. Max Kit back up to the lead. It's a war. It's an absolute war. Sven wants this race win. The championship looks like it's in the back of his head rather than the front of his head. And it's a battle we cannot leave for a moment. Does he go to the inside? Not this time around. Absolutely deserving for the highlight reel. And now Sven still 5/10 off as they head up the sector, down the hill into the next hairpin, as they head into the end of Sector 1 into Sector 2. Hard on the braking. There you can see how much curb and sausage curb there is Kit taking compared to Sven. And wow, this is absolutely incredible racing. A real dogfight. As you see a little bit of a slide there, as he pushes so hard. And Max going a little bit deep as well. Unfortunately, I can't show a replay without getting checksummed out of the session. But I think you can imagine how intense that was, Eamon! Eamon's gotten back through on Klaus! Eamon's gone through on Klaus! That's important! Both of them really trying to hustle up the order. Eamon's up to 11. Next up is Lasmana. He's got a long way to go, but take a look up the order here. Because Roll per tab and Vitor side by side for 7th place. I know Sunset really want their drivers up at the top. Vitor without not the best first race, really wants to try to get these positions on. And looks like he's gonna be able to claim that 7th place. Can Partab potentially go for a move on the outside of Coca-Cola curve? It's gonna be very close. Tries to tuck in on the inside, cannot get it done. Daniel Santos is going to take opportunity of the exit of Partab. Santos goes through to 8th, and now he's looking to get 7th on Vitor. Side by side, BWT versus Sunset Outrun. And now Santos on the long way around, trying to get the move done. Looks pretty convincing if he's got it, and I think he has. Yes, he's done it. Masterclass. P7 for Santos. It's a great Great move. But Vitor, can he get the move back on him? He looks to the inside. Potentially might be just defending the train between Partab and Lesmana. Easily the best racing we've had all championship long. Quite possibly the best race of this championship coming at the very end of this one. But it's still far from over. It's only lap 5 of 25. We have a long way to go! The Guyanese rule Partab, too much grass on the outside, does not get it through. Here comes Sven, another opportunity. They both trade fastest laps of the race. Here comes the Dutchman down the inside. Does he get it this time? Does Max go over and under? Yes, he does. And still, it's gonna be Kid in the lead, but now into the Coca-Cola curve. What happens between them now as they go through? Still, positions stay the same, but the gap is 2/10 between Sven and Max. Heading into the hairpin section, a lot of fantastic opportunities for overtaking. That's the best part around here. Personal best from Eamon, that's pretty important. Behind them, it's Peter Sabot and Mike Van Doren, two other really great rivalries behind. But this is your battle for the lead. This amazing battle here now as they go nose to tail, and behind them, both Dutch drivers working hard, but now Sven, opportunity on the outside, not preferred, but is Sven gonna do it anyways? Trying to close the doors, Max can't. Max has let a little too much open. Sven's to the inside. Sven, has he got it? Has he got it? Almost uses the curb, needs to just nail this hairpin to escape Max Kid, but as it stands, he's got the lead. He's got it, he's got it, he's got it. Sven's to the lead, Max in second. Positions have changed, and there's a new race leader, and it's your championship leader. Sven into the lead. How much have they eaten up those tires in only 6 laps? Because now, Max Kid is going to be all over the rear. Big chance for a dive bomb here. Can we see it done? To the inside. He's going for it. He's going. Max Kid down the inside. Sven over under. Sven goes through. Sven trying to hold on. Into Coca-Cola curve. They're neck and neck trying to go through. What's going to happen here? Max has to back off. Sven holding on to the race lead. I'm so out of breath. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible cup racing here between the top 2 drivers, and it's far from over. On board with Sven, want to take a look. That's with Max. Want to take a look at the drivers below. Let's see the progress. 1.5 seconds is Eamon catching up to the pack just up ahead. Vitor also doing some great work trying to catch up. Santos as well, trying to go through. He's really trying to hustle. Vitor looks like he's a lot closer now to Tesiaki. And can he put some pressure down into the hairpin section? Hopping over the sausage curb. Going up the hill. And he's really close to that gap. Now 4/10 the difference. As he really tries to reel in Tesiaki. Tesiaki doesn't want any of it, tries to hold on. He holds onto his line, doesn't worry about defense. Does Vitor go for an almighty send here on the final corner? He does not. Follows through. Very smart, and he might be able to get a better exit. No, it's a little bit of a slide. He's going to lose that momentum, but he's under slipstream, so he's going to get it right back. 2/10. Almost 3/10 between them. It's going to start closing up. It's now starting to close up. And now Vitor looking to the inside or outside. Pick your poison. And the Brazilian still waiting, and he goes to the outside. Casper defends around the long way. Can we see Vitor put down a move? No, but Casper slides it. Vitor has the advantage. He might be able to go through. It's neck and neck as they head into Coca-Cola curve, and Vitor just about able. Almost too much curb. Casper holds on for P6. And Van Doren's in the pits! Van Doren will take it to the pits! Why has he taken it to the pits? He's back out on track. Has he teleported to the pits? I think he has. That's allowed Sabo some free open air. I wonder what's happened to him. Trouble for Van Dorn. He's back out on track. But why did he go to the pits? I don't know if I missed something if he entered the pits. Whatever it may be, he's lost a lot of track position. Championship standings for the team, they're all good. Casper taking a little too much curb. Vitor might come back at it. But ProMix still has one driver trying to fight for a championship, and their battle is still closing back up. Take a look at this, though. Oh, it's contact! Vitor! Trouble! Spins it! And now Eamon gets another position! Rightfully so, Vitor gets out the way, and man, from bad to worse goes Vitor, the Brazilian driver. Unfortunately, getting it wrong there up the hill. Close battle and door-to-door contact. It has not worked in his favor. Eamon is now up to 9th, and he's picking his way through these drivers that are just falling down the order. He's picking them up. As for the top 2 here, Kit is starting to round this gap up. It was about 6/10 when Vitor had contact, so it's still all to play for here between the front 2 drivers. Now, take a look at this. Lesmana, though, now that they don't have Vitor to worry about that pesky yellow Porsche, now the BWT driver can focus on Teziaki up the road for 6th position as he's up next for the taking. And can he do it? It's lap 9. We're already past the length of a sprint race. And now we have a sprint race and a half to go left in this one. As he looks, dives, hunts for a move. But unfortunately, nothing cannot be done as yet. So gaps are starting to open up now, and as for the front 2, it's just holding on to 7/10. However, looks like all that hard battling, both of their tires are really cooked because of it, and now they're kind of forced to just ride out the sunset of what these tires can hold on to. They don't want to make a pit stop. They remember what happened last race when they did make a pit stop. And we also have this move here. Eamon's got the move done on Lesmana. And Lesmana, however, is going to try to challenge back for this position to the inside. He's going to be able to hold on. Can Eamon potentially pull a switch like we saw from Max early on in this race? On the racing line, into the braking zone, Lesmana defends. Eamon still on the outside. And does not go through. Loses that position back. Van Dorn goes up a position, however. He's up to 16th. Gap, though, for the lead, 1.2 seconds. Oh, and Eamon's trouble! Eamon's found trouble! He's gone wide off the Coca-Cola curve! A lot of damage there on that car. Oh, man, he's hit the curb too hard. Eamon, do not lose it this time out. There's still a long race to go. Just hold on to it. This championship fight ain't over until it's over, until the fat lady sings, until the checkered flag is waved. Anything and everything can still happen in motorsport. He does not want to lose out. Take a look at this. Dominic Mazzucco against Daniel Santos. Santos looking for a move, up to 4th position. Looking for a potential move. Can he find a way to get it done? Unfortunately, the gap has opened up quite a bit from the last corner. Now let's take a look at that delta between Mazzucco and Santos. The gap is 1/10, almost 2/10 they're gaining on the straight. Can they hit 3/10 and potentially an overtake? Here comes Santos. Gonna commit to it, looking down the inside for a position. Mazzucco, wise, holding on for dear life, but uses too much curb on exit. Slides a little too much. Now Santos up to 4th. And Dominic, well, really nothing too much you could do there. Left the door open and it's a hairpin, so it's pretty easy to get moves done if you're on the inside. Dominic trying to hold on there for a move, but Santos trying to fight through and catch back up to the drivers ahead, knowing that if he wasn't taken out, he would clearly be in the top 3 at this point, or at least chasing for that position. Klaus, Vitor, side by side, but a yellow flags I just saw for the moment. Vitor loses the position to Clint. So the Danish driver goes through. Unfortunately for Klaus, this is going to be his last race for a while. Work calls, and he'll be out for a little bit of the summer, but your favorite Viking will be back very, very soon. But as for now, it's the last I'm going to see him for a little bit. But still, let's look back up to this battle here between Santos and Mazzucco. So for the championship win, the gap has opened up to 20 points when we got into the main race. Essentially, with double points on hand, Eamon just needed to outscore Sven 3rd or better, and he would have had this championship, providing that he's won. And Van Doren has called it a night. And unfortunately, he had his system crash just like at Daytona, and that's a shame. His championship campaign comes down to that. Yeah, Vitor and Klaus side by side. But essentially, Eamon needed to win this race. Sven needs to finish 3rd or lower for him to win this championship. But we look at the start of this race. Well, it was bowling, and it was very unfortunate that it went down to it. Into Coca-Cola curve, however, Klaus, Vitor, side by side. I have a feeling there's maybe contact there. Ooh, that was close. That was a very, very close. Vitor, 10th in the points. Heart in your mouth kind of moment there between that fight. But all incidents are going to get looked at after this race. But as it stands right now, Sven, no commentator curse, but he's got just half the race to do it, and this championship is going to be his. But there's still a long race to go. And as for Eamon, he's currently 9th place, still chasing down Lesman. He's lost a bit of time. But what's good for him is that he's got a chunk of cars ahead of him. Think about it. Lesmana, Matab, Kaziaki. That's going to put him up to 6th place. Then from that point on, he's going to have a bit of a gap till he catches up to the top 5. That's owned by Dominic Mazzucco. But it's still on pace. He's still trying to look good. Trying to catch up through the order. Now 1.3 between Kit and Verksteeg. But anything and everything can really happen here in this battle. Because all it takes is just one tiny mistake from Sven, and he's going to be back under pressure. Tall mountain indeed to climb. But remember the last race. Eamon didn't take a pit stop. The other drivers opted for a pit stop with higher temperatures on these tires. So, realistically, it's not impossible. I saw a slide there from one of the drivers ahead. That's Tazwanto. So, blue flags for him. Can't get slowed up here. Always sliding quite a bit. Stays to the outside. However, ooh, contact there. And Tazwanto just trying to do his best. And now he's caught up there. And Sven misjudging the corner exit and is just barged poor Tazwanto out the way. Not going to be helpful for him. But it has probably given him some damage. He's gone wide as well. I don't know if aero damage has happened, but I'm not putting that on the blame for Tazwanto. He did everything he could. He got out the way. He's off the racing line, and, well, Sven has kind of just drove right into him. So he's lost about 2/10 because of that. Take a look at this. There's something that's going on here. Roll Pratab, Lesmana, Taziaki, 3 wide, turn 1. And Partab is up to 6th position. The Guyanese through. Lesmana, 7th. And Tezayaki, 8th. But take a look at this. Lesmana, oh, backs out. Just last second. Oh, and there's contact. Backs off a little too much. Casper plows to the rear. That's going to be huge for him. And take a look at this. Eamon gets another one. The only thing I can say is that because Lesmana slammed on the brakes, that was so unpredictable for Tezayaki to go through and react to that, braking on the apex there. That's just a freak accident, unfortunately, and nothing but an accident. People just trying to avoid incidents, but a little too late. Lesmana's down to 10th. Eamon up to 8th. Now he's got 2 cars ahead of him. He's gonna have a damaged Porsche for the front end just ahead. And that man is going to be Kasper Tezayaki, who's been racing with us for quite a number of months, over a year of racing with us in CMRSC. Been a very consistent driver, very much a smart driver as well, always keeping on the button and keeping himself through and always battling hard. A great driver to watch, really. Here are the 2 X-Play drivers. Lots of history. They were with us since day 1, 3.5 years ago when we started this thing. Unfortunately, they're running 13 and 14. Honestly, not really a fan of the cars they love. They love GT racing, but these Porsche Cup cars really giving them a hard challenge, and unfortunately, it's been hard. Next week out, Porsche Cup's done. It's up next. The TCR World Series. Touring car racing is back in CMRC since 2022. You're going to get to see another double race format, sprint and main races. You're also going to get to see BOP, reverse grids. It's going to be a crazy championship in TCR. Something you do not want to miss. It happens next week. Race 1, Road Atlanta. But as it stands for us, it's lap 15 of 25. 10 laps to do it here at Fuji. And Sven has already caught up to his next driver to lap, and that's going to be Stephen Bola. And as it stands right now, our closest fight we have on track is Martin Webster and Marlon Young. Battle for 13th. The 2 X-Play drivers having some fun. There's some trouble for Tiswanto. There is trouble. He's parked it. Facing the wrong way, waiting to put the power down. Not doing it just yet, and now he's gone through. Here come the 2 X-Play drivers. Starting to climb up the mountain. Their next driver to overtake is Danny Nasir, who's about 8 seconds up the road. He's now coming around the final corner of this one. Take a look at this, though. Aspir is caught up to Tezayaki for 7th place. Another position he needs to go through swift and clean. And the gap between the top 2 did go down for a bit. I did notice it. If you had a keen eye there, it went down to 1 second. I think they now are looking to lap. No, they're actually kind of far, so potentially wrong curb from Sven, maybe a little slide. But are the tires losing the grip now? It's at this point where the tires are going to start losing up big time. Oh, Bola, it's trouble. And he's run off the track, so that's going to be easy collectings there for Sven. And the next driver up the road, it's going to be Tej, who's just around T1. Let's look back here. Eamon all over the rear of Kasper. Slipstream now as they go up the hill through the final sector. Behind them, though, it is Vitor, P9. Looking to the inside, and Eamon trying to brave it through. It's contact. Unfortunately, Kasper may have held the door. Ooh, almost collecting another. And that is such an awkward corner there for Eamon and Kasper. That was a pretty interesting bit of contact there. Kasper went to the inside. Eamon went to the inside, but Eamon was pinched onto the inside. Casper just turned in a little too much. The blind apex. Casper may have called that contact there, unfortunately. He's down to 9th. He's lost down 2 positions. In favor for Eamon now. Well, he's still got some work to do. He's now up to 7th. Next up, Earl Partab, 6.1 seconds up the road. But take a look at this. Max lost out 6/10 against Sven. And now it's really starting to open up. Take a look at this here. Casper and Lesmana. And Casper Taziaki, 9th position. Having to defend on. Both of them are in the points, taking on the last bit of points, but double points on the line, so that means P9 is going to be worth 4 points, and P10 is going to worth 2 points. Respectively, Casper and Ilham Lesmana battling for this points part here. Looks to the inside, has the door wide open. Can he get the door shut? Just about, almost, no. Yes, he does. Gets it through. Wide exit there for Casper, and Lesmana goes up to 9th position. It's lap 18 of 25. So now, those 2 positions switch. Behind them, Klaus is a little far behind. A little far to enter the battle here for the points. 2.6. And Steven, no mandatory pit stops in this championship. However, the undercut is the working option if you were to take a pit stop in this one. However, with no mandatory stops in this championship, well, the drivers have to find a way to hold on to the tires. As you look for Max now. Max, as he had the lead for the beginning of this race, but pressure upon pressure from Sven finally cracked after a amazing battle. It was Sven who took the lead off of Max, and Max now 9/10. It's just going down here. It's kind of resorting to a mistake. It's 2 seconds between Max and the leader, and those tires are absolutely shot. Max has done whatever he could to hold on, but Sven today is the better man in this main race. But there are still a handful of laps to go. Something can change. Here we see, though, Eamon has got some pressure here. And is his championship gonna go backwards or forwards? It depends what goes on here. Vitor behind him, 8th place. Challenging on the man who's P2 in the championship. And look how beaten up these Porsches are. Let's take it to the drone, shall we? Between these two. Eamon against Vitor. Slipstreaming down, it's 4/10 and it's rapidly closing up. Does Vitor go for a move here? On the inside, potentially no, as the brakes glow orange. Cannot get it done. But here we go. What's going to happen here in this next opportunity? Coca-Cola curve. How close do they get? Pretty identical through it. 4/10. Eamon goes a little bit wide. Vitor holding on to the inside, but you can see how beneficial holding on does, but door is shut. Has to slam on the brakes, and a little bit of a wiggle there from Vitor. Has lost himself some seconds there. Milliseconds. Now as they go down and complete this sector here, there's some trouble. Oh, there's massive trouble. P16 has gone off. I don't know who it is, but I think it's Bola. I think we saw from the mini-map there, Stephen Bola did have a mistake. Sliding the car there. Tokyo drifting it up the curb. And, well, he's just trying to hold on here. He's currently last position in this final race of the championship. Looking back here. as they go up the hill. Wide entry there. That's the real line you want to be taking. And take a look at the gap now. 8.5, 8.1, 7.3. That was a very good line. Very excellent line now. And here comes Vitor as he's on the slipstream. It keeps going down. 0.5 the difference. Now, 0.4, but the straight comes to an end. And now as they head into T1, the gap is now very close, down to about 0.5, half a second between the two. Heading into Coca-Cola once again, lap 20 of 25. Still not over until it's over. Eamon still pushing hard. Wants to defend, not let anybody through. More statements to be made here. That's for sure. But now, as they head into the ending of Sector 1, into the hairpin section, Vitor, no potential move is going to be taken there. But this is your closest battle we have on track for 7th position. A little bit of a slide there for Eamon. Goes wide now. Hits the apex, both of them do it. The exit curve matters the most. Does so well. And then wide line once again from Vitor. It looks like that's his preferred line there. And now the gap is opened up to a second because of that wide line, but naturally, because of the slipstream and the long straight, it lets him get right back up to where he started, 0.5 behind. Great shot here from the CMRSC drone, lap 21 of 25. The gap for the lead has been increased, 3.1 seconds. And well, what now? This race really been dominated. After a hard-fought battle, it's all been dominated by the Dutchman. And Sven looking to take home his first ever championship. The third different driver in CMRSC to take home a championship of Dutch descent. Take a look at this. Eamon's not going to be a little too happy over this. Lap traffic here. Steven needs to get out of the way. As Eamon and Vitor going through now. Coming up fast. Into the hairpin section. Oh, going through. Vitor goes around the long way. And Bola staying as predictable as possible. And because of that, Vitor has chose the wrong direction to go there and has lost out some time. And Lesmana also catching up through here. Oh, sliding the rear end. Going off just a moment here. Lost out just a bit. But gets right back going. And still in 16th, of course. Did see the gap go down here. Max did close up just about 0.5, but it's opened right back up to 3 seconds once again. Marlon Young, Martin Webster, still racing hard between each other. Your battle for 13th position. Coming down to the end of this one. And Marlon Young looking to the outside, looking to switch in. Folks, if you want to get a part of CMRSC, you can join our Discord. It's linked in the live chat, or you can head to our description. Sign-ups are already open for the TCR World Series. 5 rounds. You're going to get 10 races out of it. Reverse grids, BOP, and it's going to be one of our closest championships with our format that we have in store. Marlon Young down the inside of Martin Webster. And Marlon gonna go through. Martin gonna go back, and they're just having a bit of fun. And this is at least a battle that we can watch towards the very end of this Grand Prix here. The Japanese Grand Prix. Coming down to it to lap 25. It's lap 22. The gap for the lead's 2.8. It's balancing between 2.8 and 3 seconds. Sven is now about catching up to the P15 driver of Tej, so he's gonna have to get a move on. But as it stands right now, it's Sven with the championship. Nothing can stop him. He's the man on top to do it here, and he's gonna claim his first championship in CMRC. That's gotta be sweet. It's gonna be oh so sweet for him. So, as they come around now, Marlon Young still holding on. We also have another battle here. 1.5 though, the difference between Lesmana and Vitor, as they're all chasing down Eamon. And well, as for Eamon's championship run, it's been really hard to hold on to this one. Just unfortunate. Not able to really battle hard in this one. But oh, trouble! That is a violent spin there from Lesmana. Loses it and runs off the deep end of the circuit. Wow, that's not gonna help at all. And take a look at this. Sven has opened up the gap to 3.7 seconds. And he's still finding some pace out here. I don't know how he can do it. I don't know how these drivers do it at the top, but Sven is one of our longtime drivers here, always hunting for a championship. Teammates of Mike Van Doren, who's a 4-time champion already in CMRC, well established in our league. And now we're going to add another man to the Hall of Fame in just 2 laps. And take a look at this, Martin Webster. Ooh, he's gone off just a bit. And he's going to lose out to his teammate there, Marlon Young, who's going to keep on 13th. Let's take a look, man, at Sven. He's got 1.5 laps until all of it is finally over. This championship fight comes to a halt, an end. But let's take you through these past races. And let's go all the way back to Daytona, where it all began. Daytona for the United States Grand Prix. Sven put it on pole, and he took the broom. Swept the sprint, swept the main race. In the second race, however, he was unable to attend. So, he sat out of the British Grand Prix at Thruxton. So the drivers really closed up in that championship fight. Round 3 came along at Zolder, and once he came back, he took the broom back. He took pole position, sprint race win, and the main race win. I think I see the pattern now. Let's look at last week's race. Qualifying, it was Max Kidd, and the sprint race went to Max. But Sven going down to 4th after a hellacious battle between Sven and him. As Eamon goes down the order, down to 9th. He's lost out of position here between himself and Lesmana. Caught out Tazayaki as well. And Vitor, he was actually up to 7th, so he's lost out quite a lot. But Eamon, this was your last week main race winner, and unfortunately, well, this championship was done and dusted after turn 1. Contact between himself and, man, I think one of the BWT drivers. What happened, we don't know. We don't review until after the race. It's going to be a gut-punching end to this championship campaign for Eamon. We hope we see him back stronger. But it's just very unfortunate how it's been laid down for him. But, unfortunate result for him. Fortunately, though, the clouds clear. Sven sees the light. He's about a couple corners away of calling himself CMRC's next champion. And in fact, he comes around the final corner. Sven Versteeg. Man, what a championship campaign. Took 2 brooms home, and now he comes around to the start-finish line. Sven is champion of Porsche Porsche Supercup. He wins at Fuji in the main race, and he takes the championship. Max will take home second position. In fact, he's being chased down by Peter Sabo. Fourth place will go to Daniel Santos. Fifth, Dominic Mizzuzzo. There's still a lot of battles left to go down the order. And oh, Lesmana also off there. Here comes Dominic Mizzuzzo, who will take home his sixth position on the line. Just outside the top 5 there. Roll Pratap takes home 7th. And take a look at this. Photo finish at the line, potentially. We're ready for this one. We saw it at the Sachsenring. Tetsuyaki's got the line. Nose up ahead. He's got it. He's got it. Tazuyaki takes 7th. Beats or 8th. Great battle there. Eamon will take home P9. Klaus in 10th. And oh, Klaus was trying to go out the way. I think Eamon was trying to pull over, but I think that describes his championship campaign there. And your race winner, championship winner, Sven does it here at Porsche Supercup. He's pulled it. He's done it. He's done it. He's done it. What a drive. As all the drivers left to come across the line, there you see Bola Webster. But there he is. And that wraps up the championship. Once again, we'll look at all incidents as soon as the stream is over. But we have ourselves a new champion in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. And we're going to talk to him right about now. Sven!
Hello.
Champion! That's got to feel great. Your first championship here. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Take us through that race, man, because the beginning half, fighting against Max, that was an amazing battle that kept everyone glued to their screens. Wow, that was a hard-fought battle. Congratulations on the race win. But take us through that fight. How intense was it on your side?
Well, it was quite intense. Very sweaty, to be honest. The battle was really fun fighting Max there. Also very good moves from him, so a bit big ups to him. It was a tough one, that's all I can say. Especially with the tires too. The last couple laps were very hard on the tires, and I think the last lap I had a puncture.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is. Yeah, we didn't unfortunately see the puncture on our side. However, though, you know, that was a really hard-fought battle. Coming to the end of it, you were just able to hold on to the gap. From that point on, after that battle, we want to know how wrecked were those tires? Were those tires really wrecked after that hard-fought battle?
The tires felt actually very good after the battle. I didn't really over-push them. I felt like I did my the fight quite safe for the tires on my end. Not sure about him, but yeah, it was a really good battle.
Well, you take home the championship. Anyone you want to shout out at home?
Sorry?
I said, congratulations, amazing championship. Anybody you would like to shout out?
To be fair, Daniel. He's been a big friend of me.
Well, congratulations. First championship done and dusted here. Are we going to see you trying to go for the back-to-back in the TCR series?
I'll at least try. I have no clue how it will end, but I'll give it a shot.
Congratulations on this championship race win. You can't wait to see what you can do in the next one. You are now added to the third Dutch driver to win a championship, so that's got to feel sweet. Your first one, congratulations on it. Huge props to you, man.
Thank you.
Send you down, and we'll talk to our man in second position, Max Kitt. Max, wow, man, that was a hard battle. That was a really hard battle. I'm happy to talk to you because I want to know your feelings going through that whole race. You finished second. Take us through the emotions throughout that one.
Yeah, I think I just used the wrong CSP version. But no, that battle was sick. I made a little bit of a contact with him. Didn't mean to do it. Threw it a little bit off. But besides that, the battle was all fun here. And yeah, once he had the gap, he just left. Then there was a manner of just, protecting the tire.
So speaking of those tires, how were they coming towards the checkered flag?
I had a puncture on the left.
Man, both of you had punctures come to the end of it. But
yeah, I think yeah, I had the wrong CSP version for this one. 2.7 is a little bit more tire wear apparently.
I think the margins are really, really slim, but nonetheless, though, you take home another P2 here. That was still an incredible round for you. I know you had a lot of words to say about TCR. Are you going to still give it a go anyways?
I might just, if I have nothing to do that week,
Well, hopefully we will. That was an incredible drive from you. Honestly, we wish we saw you throughout this whole championship with your performances. But yeah, hopefully we can see you in more races in the future. Congratulations, P2, P1. Another great weekend for yourself. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, honestly, the whole group chat over here. That with Mike, Danny, Sven, that whole group chat we got. It's been fun.
Well, it's been awesome racing, man. Hope to see you in future events, man. Congratulations, P2, P1. A great way to round out the championship for yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I'll try to see you guys at TCR.
Hopefully we will. That's going to do it there for Max. And now we talk to our man in third position. Trying to find him. There you are there. Peter. Peter Sabo. Man, you got it. Third position. You were 5/10 under, just coming to the line between yourself and Max, but you take home third place. How was that one for you?
You know what? I was by myself most of the race, but I had a lot of fun. I love this track. Congrats to the top two. And to Swam for taking the championship.
Now, same question with all these top two drivers. How were those tires coming towards the end? Of course, your battling was not exactly the same as the top two. They really had it out, but how were your tires coming to the end of it? Did you experience any punctures, any tires getting worn out towards the end? How were they?
I think I may have left one lap in them. I was watching the lap times. We were pretty much running almost identical lap times. So we were pushing, everyone was pushing just as hard. I was watching Danny behind me. He was putting down 41s. So yeah, we all had to push.
But nonetheless, though, you take home a third position. A great result to round out this championship, especially with your team. But now we head into TCR. We're going to be seeing Peter Sabo going for a championship in the next one.
I'm still thinking about it, to be honest.
Well, what's got you on the fence?
I just don't like four-wheel drive cars, that's all. I just don't know how to drive them.
The only thing I'm going to say is that these front-wheel drive cars are probably the best ones I've ever tried, because I also hate front-wheel. I would say give it a try. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but they don't really act up as badly as other cars do in AC. Hopefully we will see you, but if not, we hope to see you very soon.
You have me convinced. I'll be there for the first race.
You got to give it the first race the try there. I think that's the most important part, and I think once you get that first race done, you kind of understand how the championship's going to play out throughout and if the cars are worth driving or not for yourself.
I agree. Okay, I'll see you there.
Perfect. I'm a great salesman, aren't I?
Cheers, man. See you.
See you, man. Congratulations, P3. All right, big round of applause, everyone. Incredible championship. Thank you for everyone that stayed through to the very end. 62 overall signups. We had a record-breaking races, 32 drivers on the grid. Unfortunately, the only thing failing for us is real penalty, but we're still happy that everyone stuck through and we had ourselves a great championship. Next week, we begin TCR. We're going to get the session up right away. You can check out the TCR World Series channel for the signups But congratulations to our championship winner, Sven. We'll meet you guys in the lounge if you want to stick around for the debrief. And then it's all gas, no brakes to the next championship. So hopefully you guys love it then. That's going to do it for Porsche Cup. And we'll see you in just a week's time. Thank you, everyone. And that's going to do it. Wow. Incredible. I am sweating so much. And we're not taking no breaks. Like I said, it's all gas, no breaks here in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. And we're going to get started for the next one. Next week out, Porsche Super Cup is complete. So now it's time for the TCR World Series. You do not want to miss out on what an incredible one that's going to be. We'll see you then for the next championship, the 24th official championship in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. We'll see you then. Same time, same place.